Steve Carman is an American linguist. He can speak 9 languages. By now, he may have learned a few more. And he started learning his ninth language when he was 59 years old. It is not about how old you are. It is about how old you think you are. I must go to a country where people speak the language I want to learn. I have read that being in the country where people speak natively the language you want to learn would help you a lot, but it is not a must. I must go to the country where people speak the language I want to learn. I read that being in a country where people speak natively the language I want to learn would help you a lot, but it is not a must. Okay. Number 10. I have been in the US for 6 months to learn English. I found that a lot of the environment factors I got there exist in Vietnam, my home country. I still remember my very first days in the US. A Vietnamese American friend of mine told me, "You better watch television every day to improve your English listening skills." That was an honest recommendation, but but it shocked me because I came to the US hoping that this country could help me skyrocket my English skill, not not to watch TV, not to watch TV. I have I have been in the US for 6 months to learn English. I found that a lot of the environment factors I got there exist in Vietnam, my home country. I still remember my first day in the US. A Vietnamese American friend of mine told me, you you better watch television every day in improve your English listening skills." That was an honest recommendation, but it shocked me because I came to the US hoping that this country that this this country could help me skyrocket my English skill, not to watch TV. Number 11. If you are at home and want to improve your listening skills, why not just watch TV? In the chapter 10, I will tell you many other tactics to get a native speaking environment right in your country. If you are at home and want to improve your listening skills, why not just watch TV? In the chapter 10, I will tell you many other tactics to get a native speaking environment writing 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 your country con, country. Number 12. Learning a new language is a long time journey. It might take your whole life to learn one. If it takes your whole life to learn a new language, how many lives Do you think Stephen Coleman or others who can speak 4 or 5 languages had? In fact, many people, including me, have been learning a new language for quite a long time, for quite a long time, but never focused on it. It is as if you want to build your muscles by lifting the 5 kilogram weight only three times a day. Results never come that way. When it comes to learning a foreign language, being focus is the key. If you focus in the right manner, you can achieve mastery in a short period of time. Learning a new language is a long journey. It might take your whole life to learn one. If if it if it takes your whole life to learn a new language, to learn a to learn to learn a new language, how many lives do you think Steve Coleman, Steve Kaufman, or others or others or others who can speak 4 or 5 languages had? In fact, many people, including me, have been learning a new language for quite a long time, but never focused on it. It is as if you want to build your muscle by lifting the 5 kilogram weights only 3 times a day. Results never come that way. When it comes to learning a foreign language, being focused is the key. The key. If you focusing the right manner, you can achieve mastery in a short period of time. Period of time. Number 13. I must have a good teacher. Some people tend to delay things. You call them delayers. They keep looking for a good teacher even though they have no idea what a good teacher looks like. I think every teacher has his or her own strengths and weaknesses. The important thing is what you can learn from them, not what you cannot learn from them. I must have a good teacher. Some people tend to delay things. I call them delayers. They keep looking for a good teacher even though they have no idea what a good teacher looks like. I think every teacher has his or her own strengths and weaknesses. The important thing is what you you can learn from them, not what you cannot learn from them. Number 14. 14. Even a native speaker will have weaknesses in teaching their own language. For example, sometimes a native speaker cannot understand clearly why a word is so easy for her to pronounce, but not for her children. You don't need a very you don't you don't need the very good teacher, but you do need a good teach process. Even a native speaker will have weaknesses in teaching their own languages. For example, sometimes a native speaker cannot understand clearly what a word is so easy for her to pronounce, but not for her student. You don't need a very good teacher, but you do need a good process. Number 15. Only smart people can learn a new language. It is true that when you meet someone who can speak one or more foreign languages, you feel that the person is smart. However, many studies show that it is learning a new language that boosts your IQ, which means learning a foreign language makes you smarter. Not that you must be smart to learn a new language. This Friday are quite interesting, isn't it? If you are still still concept about how much you are, the following findings might excite you. Only smart people can learn new language. It is true that when you meet someone who can speak one or more foreign languages, you feel that the person is smart. However, many studies show that it is learning a new language that boosts your IQ, which means learning a foreign language makes you smarter. Not that you must be smart to learn a new language. This finding is quite interesting, isn't it? If you are still conscious about how smart you are, the following findings might excite you. Number 16. Research shows that our brain contain, contains around 30 billion cells. Every time we absorb or analyze information, new connections are formed among the, these brain cells. This connection could disappear quickly or be retained for a long period of time, depending upon how important the information is to you. It is not the number of cells that determine the level of your intelligence. It is the number of connections that does. The number of connections increases as your brain works and decreases when you stop thinking or remembering things. If you do math to count the connections possible, it is unimaginable. It is almost unlimited. Illimited. Illimited. Research shows that our brain contains around 30 billion cells. Every time we absorb, analyze information, new connections are formed among three, three these 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 brain cells. This connection could disappear quickly or be retained for for a long period of time, depending upon how important the information is to you. It is not the number of cells that determine the level your intelligence. It is of the number of connections that does. The number of connections increases as your brain works and decreases when you stop thinking or remember things. If you do math to count the connection possible, it is unimaginable. It is almost unlimited. 17. Number 7. Tony Buzan, a well-known human brain expert, estimated that an ordinary person uses only around 3% to 8% of his or her brain capability. A person who is considered intelligent could be using 2% of his or her capability, while those smart persons could be using only 10% their brain potential. It means no matter how much your IQ is at the moment, you are somewhere between 2% to 10%. If you are if if you are in a marathon, standing a few meters ahead of or behind the starting line, there's not much of a difference, but your continuous effort does. There is much room for improvement. If this is true, your next question is going to be how to more intelligent. To the person, a well-known hormone brain expert is estimated that an ordinary person's person using person using only around 3% to 8% of his or her brain capability. A person who is considered intelligent could be using 0% of his or her capability, while the smart person could be using only 10% their brain potential. It means no matter how much your IQ is at the moment, you are somewhere between 2% to 10%. If you are in the marathon, standing a few meters ahead of or behind the starting line does not make much of a difference, but your continuous effort does. This is much room improvement. If this is true, your next question is going to be how to be more intelligent. Number 18. I used to think that our brain is like a computer hard disk, that if we squeeze too much information into it, some old information will be replaced by the new information coming in and below. I thought that I was wrong. That true is that is if you get more information, your ability to memorize increases accordingly. You then can memorize more and at a faster rate. On the contrary, contrary, no? contrast, on the contrary, if you think less, your ability to think will be undermined. Our brain has a mechanism similar to our muscle. If you regularly work out, your muscle will become stronger. And conversely, if you don't exercise, your muscle will grow weaker. Research reveals an interesting finding that whenever we face a problem and we try to find a solution, new connections are formed within our brain, making us a little smarter. If we choose to stop thinking, we grow a little less intelligent. What different? So difficult. I used to think that our brain is like a computer hard disk, that, that if we squeeze too much information into it, some old information will be replaced by the new information coming in and below. I found that I was wrong. That's true is that if you get more information, your ability ability to memorize increases accordingly. You then can memorize more and at a faster rate. On the contrary, if you think less, If you think less, your ability to think will be undermined. Our brain has a mechanism similar to our muscle. If you regularly work out, your muscle will be stronger, and conversely, if you don't exercise, your muscle will be grow weaker. Research reveals an interesting finding that whenever we face a problem and we try to find a solution, new connections are formed within our brain, making us a little smarter. If we choose to stop thinking, we grow a little less intelligent. Uh, Hình như tới 18 thì phải. 19. I have an, I have a neighbor who is a taxi driver. He once told me that he did not like his job. When I asked him why not trend to another job, it insisted that he was a number, that he could not manage to learn anything new. One day, when we were enjoying the ring together at his home, waiting in front of the TV, in front of the TV for the World Cup football match to start, he challenged me to play chess. Just so that you know, I am not a very bad chess player. I used to defeat my father and his friends when I was only 11 years old. Yes, I lost three matches continuously in just 15 minutes. When I was writing this session, my neighbor's image suddenly popped up in my mind, and I asked myself, who could a good chess player be a dumber? If sometimes you think you are not intelligent, think again. I have a I have a neighbor who is a taxi driver. He once told me that he did not like his job. When I asked him why not change to another job, he insisted that he was a dumber and that he could not manage to learn anything new. One day, when we were enjoying a drink together at his home, waiting in front of the TV for that World Cup football match to start, he challenged me to play chess. Just so that you know, I'm not a very bad chess player. They used to defeat my father and his friends when I was only 11 years old. Yet I lost three matches continuously in just 15 minutes. When I was writing this session, my neighbor's image suddenly popped up in my mind, and I asked myself, how could a good chess player be a dumber? If sometimes you think you are not intelligent, think again, think again.